And Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889 in Braunau am Inn, Austria. He was the fourth of six children born to Alois and Clara Hitler. Hitler's early life was marked by family instability and personal struggles. His father was a strict and authoritarian figure, while his mother was more nurturing. Hitler's relationship with his father was often strained, and he later claimed to have had a difficult childhood. As a young boy, Hitler moved several times with his family, eventually settling in Linz, Austria. He excelled in some subjects in school, but struggled in others, eventually dropping out of secondary school. After his mother's death from breast cancer in 1907, Hitler moved to Vienna to pursue his artistic ambitions, but was rejected twice by the Academy of Fine Arts Vienna. This rejection fueled a deep sense of resentment and frustration in Hitler. It was during this period that Hitler's anti-Semitic views began to solidify as he was exposed to the prevalent anti-Jewish sentiment in the city. Vienna's diverse atmosphere only fueled his prejudices, laying the foundation for his future ideology. Hitler's time in Vienna exposed him to a range of political and social ideologies. He was particularly drawn to pan-German nationalism and the anti-Semitic rhetoric of politicians like Karl Lueger, the mayor of Vienna. These influences, combined with his personal experiences, contributed to the development of Hitler's extremist views. He believed Germany was destined for greatness, but was being held back by Jews, whom he viewed as a parasitic race. In 1913, Hitler moved to Munich, Germany, to avoid Austrian military service and welcomed the outbreak of World War I in 1914, volunteering to serve in the German army. Hitler's wartime experiences further shaped his worldview, serving as a dispatch runner and being awarded the Iron Cross for bravery. However, Germany's defeat deeply affected him, and he blamed the loss on internal enemies, particularly Jews and Marxists. This belief in the stab-in-the-back myth became central to Hitler's political ideology and rise to power. After the war, Hitler returned to Munich, which was in political and economic turmoil. Germany's defeat and the harsh penalties of the Treaty of Versailles fueled resentment and instability. In this volatile atmosphere, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party, or DP, which espoused nationalist, anti-Semitic and anti-communist views. Hitler quickly rose through the ranks thanks to his powerful oratory skills. In 1920, the party changed its name to the National Socialist German Workers' Party, or Nazi Party. Hitler played a key role in shaping the party's ideology, combining extreme nationalism, anti-Semitism and anti-communism. The Nazi Party attempted to overthrow the government in 1923 in the Beer Hall Putsch, but the coup failed and Hitler was arrested. His trial gave him a national platform to promote his ideas, and while in prison he wrote Mein Kampf, outlining his political ideology. Upon his release, Hitler focused on rebuilding the Nazi Party and using legal means to gain power. Hitler's imprisonment proved to be a turning point in his political career. Upon his release in 1924, he rebuilt the Nazi Party, transforming it into a mass movement. The party's popularity soared during the Great Depression, as many Germans were drawn to Hitler's promises of national revival. In 1933, after years of political maneuvering, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. With this appointment, the Weimar Republic effectively ended, paving the way for the Third Reich. Once in power, Hitler moved swiftly to consolidate his grip on Germany, eliminating all opposition and transforming the country into a one-party state. He banned other political parties, outlawed trade unions, and silenced dissent. The Gestapo, the Nazi secret police, enforced obedience through terror. Hitler's regime systematically dismantled democracy, replacing it with a totalitarian system. At the heart of the Nazi regime lay a toxic brew of ideologies: anti-Semitism, Aryan supremacy, and Lebensraum. Hitler believed Jews were an inferior race, threatening the purity of the Aryan race. This racist ideology led to the systematic persecution of Jews in Germany. Coupled with anti-Semitism was the concept of Lebensraum, the belief that Germany needed to expand eastward. Hitler's vision entailed the conquest and colonization of Eastern Europe, displacing or eliminating existing populations. The implementation of these ideologies transformed Germany into a police state. The The Nazis controlled all aspects of culture and information, using propaganda to spread their message of hate. Hitler's regime systematically indoctrinated the German population, particularly the youth, with Nazi ideology. Driven by his expansionist ambitions, Hitler embarked on aggressive foreign policy moves that plunged the world into another war. In 1939, Germany invaded Poland, marking the beginning of World War II. German forces quickly overran Poland, Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. By 1941, Germany had conquered most of Europe. Hitler soon set his sights on the Soviet Union, launching Operation Barbarossa in June 1941. Despite initial successes, the German army faced fierce resistance and harsh winter conditions. The turning point came with the Battle of Stalingrad, resulting in a decisive Soviet victory. From that point onward, German forces were in retreat on all fronts. While Hitler's armies waged war, the Nazi regime carried out the Holocaust. The Holocaust was the culmination of the Nazi regime's anti-Semitic ideology. The Nazis viewed Jews as an existential threat that needed to be eradicated. The Holocaust unfolded in stages, beginning with discriminatory laws and ghettos. The final solution implemented the systematic extermination of European Jewry. Jews were deported to concentration camps, subjected to forced labor, starvation, and mass murder. The Nazis established extermination camps designed for industrial-scale killing. The Holocaust resulted in the murder of 6 million Jews, a testament to the depths of human depravity. As the tide of World War II turned against Germany, the Allied forces closed in on Berlin. With his armies defeated, Hitler's grip on power slipped away. The Battle of Berlin marked the final chapter of the war in Europe. Soviet forces fought their way into the heart of the city. As the Red Army encircled Berlin, Hitler retreated to his underground bunker. On April 30th, 1945, Hitler committed suicide, and Germany surrendered unconditionally on May 8th, marking victory in Europe Day. Hitler's suicide marked the end of the Third Reich. The world was left to grapple with the devastating consequences of Hitler's reign of terror. The world that emerged from World War II was forever changed by Hitler's actions. The war claimed an estimated 40 to 85 million lives and left Europe in ruins. The Holocaust shocked the conscience of the world. The Nuremberg trials brought Nazi leaders to justice and established accountability for wartime actions. The war led to the emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers, ushering in the Cold War. The division of Europe into Eastern and Western blocs reflected the ideological divide. The Holocaust forced the world to confront the horrors of anti-Semitism and the dangers of unchecked hatred. The memory of the Holocaust serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of tolerance and human rights. Understanding Hitler and his rise to power is crucial for preventing similar tragedies. Hitler's story is a reminder of the dangers of unchecked nationalism and propaganda. By studying the historical context, we can recognize the warning signs of extremism. Hitler's success was the result of economic and political instability and the appeal of his ideology. By understanding these factors, we can safeguard our societies from extremism. Hitler did not act alone. He was enabled by individuals and institutions. The Holocaust was the product of a system that dehumanized an entire group. By studying the Holocaust, we are reminded of the dangers of conformity and the courage of those who resisted. Adolf Hitler's legacy is one of unparalleled destruction and human suffering. His name is synonymous with the horrors of World War II and the Holocaust. It's imperative that we never forget the lessons of the past. Hitler's story is a reminder of the fragility of democracy and the dangers of unchecked power. By studying Hitler's rise and fall, we can recognize the warning signs of extremism. The memory of the Holocaust serves as a reminder of the human capacity for both good and evil. By remembering the victims and educating future generations, we can work towards a world where all people are treated with dignity and respect. The lessons of the Holocaust hold the key to preventing future genocides and building a more just world.